Vanakkam, Malai Vanakkam. Good evening to everyone. Today we all assembled to celebrate 75th birthday of the great Dr. Jebamalai from United Nations Industrial Development Organization, Vienna, Austria. Dr. Jebamalai started his career as an academician, college teacher from Loyola College, and then moved to Madras University as a PhD scholar. Then after that he moved to Vienna to join in his stage in his life as a bachelor to the married man, and living more than 30 to 40 years in Vienna, and joined in the United Nations Industrial Development Organization from P2 to D2, different category of jobs, and traveled all over the world, more than 100 countries, given a speech on economic development, social development, poverty elevation, many other subjects. He visited many colleges, universities. He served as an economic professor in the University of Malaya in Kuala Lumpur. He given speeches in most of the Tamil Nadu universities and colleges, not only that, all over the world. Dr. Jebamalai known to me from 1983 through Dr. Naganathan, professor and head of the Department of University of Madras, Department of Economics. Dr. Naganathan is a popular economist, politician, academician, social worker, and a social reformer. He served in different capacity. He retired as a farmer, retired as a vice chairman of the Planning Commission. He only introduced Dr. Jebamalai, and I had an opportunity to meet him again and again in Chennai and Vienna. I visited Dr. Jebamalai's house many times in Vienna, and I enjoyed his hospitality. Dr. Jebamalai is a wonderful personality and supporting many national and international activities. We conducted a first World Tamils Economic Conference in 2009, and we honored to confer a special award in the name of Crown Jewel of World Tamils, and conferred by the Malaysian Minister Dato' Sami Velu, and then Judge of the Supreme Court Justice A.R. Lakshmanan. So he is a very lucky person. He received a wonderful award from us. Not only that, we invited him to many times to give us speeches in different conferences. Dr. Jebamalai's wife, still Jebamalai, also a wonderful lady. She's a hospitable person. She's whoever coming from anywhere in the world to Vienna. Husband and wife, they used to come to the airport and receive and look after them and send back like that. Daughter Diana also is a very interesting personality. She is interested in academic excellence, and also a lot of field experience. She studied in Vienna, Canada, Sweden, Australia, now married and settled in Sydney. Both we have husband and wife now settled very well in Sydney. I had an opportunity to attend Diana's wedding at Sri Lanka. Diana always very cordial and friendly and very affectionate with me. She's always giving a top priority for me for any lunches and dinners. Whenever I go to his house, she's always taking me to special dinner or lunch in a good hotel in Vienna as well as in Sydney. She presented a book when I went to Sydney also. She was with me for 2 to 3 days when I was staying there. She took me to different places in Sydney. She's a wonderful daughter of Jebamalai. Dr. Jebamalai is a very lucky person, wonderful wife and interesting daughter, and also nice friend circle. So he served for many years in different fields. I am very much wishing him to serve furthermore another 25 years for academic and social and political activities. I'm wishing well. Today I invited many persons to give a speech on behalf of Madras Development Society. The Madras Development Society is established in 1981 and organizing seminars, workshops, conferences in different times and also honoring many personalities. Today I had an opportunity, me and my organization, to honor Dr. Jebamalai. I'm welcoming Dr. Jebamalai and the guest of today's function. I'm inviting one by one give a speech. My best wishes, Dr. Jebamalai. Long live Dr. Jebamalai. நீண்ட நாள் வாழ்க, நிலைத்து புகழ் பெறுக, உதவுக அனைவருக்கும், தான் பெற்ற கல்வியை மற்றவருக்கு எடுத்து சொல்லுங்க. அதன் மூலம் பலரும் பலன் பெற வேண்டிய ஏற்பாடுகளை செய்க. அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு வாழ்வினை நீங்கள் மேலும் மேலும் செய்யவும். 100 நாடுகளுக்கு நீங்கள் பயணம் செய்தால் மட்டும் போதாது, 100 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு மேல் வாழ்ந்து இந்த நாட்டுக்கும் இந்த தமிழ் மண்ணுக்கும் பயன் பெற பணியாற்ற உங்களை நான் மனதார வாழ்த்துகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Do it again. 1, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants of the Madras conference, it's a great honor for me to say a few words about Dr. Vinanchiarachi on his 75th year's birthday. I first met Dr. Arachi in the early 80s, and I was very impressed by him as an economist, and I recruited him in 1982 as a consultant for UNIDO's program on economic research on developing countries. And he proved to be so impressive and a great scholar that I managed to recruit him as a staff member in 1988 in UNIDO. Later on, Dr. Arachi became promoted to principal advisor to the Director General of UNIDO and also served as UNIDO country director in Sudan. This was possible due to his impressive performance as a brilliant development economist with outstanding power of economic analysis, combined with clarity of economic thinking and elegant writing and oratory skills. Dr. Arachi had the ability to work on a range of different country settings, not only in Asia and Middle East, but also in Africa and even Latin America. He was also able to work on a number of development issues such as poverty alleviation, rural livelihoods, sustainable industrial development, agribusiness, and a number of other issues. And he did that with great skills and very high output. So it's a great pleasure for me today to convey my warmest congratulations to Jebamalai Vinanchiarachi on his 71st birthday. And thank you for all the good cooperation we've had in the past. It has been a great cooperation, and I'm very much impressed and indebted to you for all the good work you've done for UNIDO. And I would say you have showed your skills as one of the best economists in the UN system, which I know. Thank you. How's that?
Can you request Dr. Mukesh Kabila to speak?
Well, what to say? After a man has built up a reputation over 75 years, there is, and is surrounded by all his well-wishing friends, I'm sure there is so much to say. And some of it has already been said. And I will reiterate that, but also reflect on my own experiences of my interactions with Arachi. You all know him as Jebamalai, but I know him as Arachi because that is how he introduced himself to me when I first met with him in Sudan some 20 years ago. And what I've learned in my association with Arachi is that he is an extremely original man. In other words, for ordinary people like us, our minds work from A to B, from B to C in a linear fashion. Arachi's mind works in a very complex way. And he looks at an issue from many different angles. And he makes interconnections that most of us ordinary people wouldn't probably even know how to do so. But underpinning all of that is his extraordinary sense of fairness, generosity, and humanity. And I think many friends of his have said that, but I have seen that, I have witnessed his generosity in action, both in his professional work and in a personal sense, in many, many situations and over many years. And that is truly the mark of an innately good man. And one of his strongest qualities is that of loyalty and friendship. It can be sometimes infuriating because he sees the world only in a good way. Sometimes he can be blind to bad people and the bad things happening. It is not to say that he may not be feeling those bad experiences, but he's far too well-mannered, far too generous to express it openly at times when he should. So he can be a little bit infuriating also, but that is all part of the rounded, holistic Arachi that we know and love, and that many of you here know him for far longer than even I have, and I've known him for some 20 years. And the best side of Arachi is evident when there are problems. Whether there are problems his friends are having, or whether there are problems in some professional sphere that he's facing. And to solve those problems, he brings his values into play, his values of generosity and humanity, but also his organizing principle of always trying to find a better solution to the problem. And he's helped in doing this by his huge creativity. I don't understand the language he speaks. Is Malayalam, I think. Is it Malayalam?
Tamil.
Tamil. It's Tamil. I don't understand Tamil. And to me, Tamil often appears to be, to a non-Tamil person, sounds very unmusical. However, I have heard him sing in Tamil. Believe it or not, in Khartoum, I once heard him sing in Tamil, and then understood that it's actually in his heart, he is a poet. And then, of course, when he writes and speaks in English, I'm left to marvel. As I've said elsewhere, even Shakespeare could not use words. Even Shakespeare could not use the English language in the way he does, including his own meaning of words and the way he connects the words of the English language together in a way that creates a whole new vision and imagination, a mark of a poet indeed. So now my question really is, it'll be very boring. This talk will be very boring if I spend all of it simply praising him. Because one, his head will become even bigger. And two, the best mark of a friend is not to always to say good things about a person, but to tell him how he can improve. Because otherwise, if your friends don't tell you how to improve, then who else is going to? So I've been reflecting on this. And now that he is 75 years young, it is time for him to address a fundamental question. And that is, for the remaining years of his life, and may they be long, and may he be blessed with a long and healthy life, with good blood pressure, good cholesterol levels, and healthy living. Question really is, should he spend the future time consolidating what he has done and establishing his legacy so that it is in order, so that people who come after him will continue to benefit from his wisdom, from his experience, from his outlook, from his ways of expressing things? Or should he be doing more things? Should he be going into new areas? Should he be getting more ambitious for new adventures? Now, it's not for me or any of us to advise anyone on that. But I think this is a dilemma. I'm not as old yet as 75, but it's certainly something that I myself consider. Because you get to a stage of life where you have a duty to reflect. Now, he's done a lot of reflection. He's a prolific writer and he's published many, many books. And almost one needs a dictionary to be, and some kind of a guide has to be established on his many writings. But my advice would be that he needs to spend equal time to consolidating what he's done, getting new meaning out of what he has achieved, and those achievements have been extremely considerable, and they have been global in nature, as well as finding new ways of doing things. Because it's innovation that keeps a person young and active. A final thought. Now, all of us are entitled to an economy ticket in the journey of life. Whether it is the journeys of our life as we live it on earth, or whether it is our final journey to wherever we end up. At least an economy ticket is assured to all of us, whether we go wherever, whatever our final destination. But in the case of Arachi, when I was writing down on a piece of paper his achievements and his negative qualities, of which there are very few, his achievements are far greater, I'm confident that he is entitled to at least a business class travel in whatever journey he has in the future and wherever his destinations are. Definitely he's earned the business class journey. But I think it is extremely possible that his journeys will now, he deserves his journeys to be in first class. So I think he's earned enough of the esteem of the world, the respect and affection of his friends and colleagues, and I'm honored to consider myself one of his friends and colleagues, that is entitled to the best of all journeys in the most luxurious of all journeying modes, in whatever journeys he wishes to make or wherever he goes. And let me conclude by saying that certainly as far as my life is concerned, he has not just known me, or I have known him. He has left a mark on my life, on my journey. And I don't think one can give higher praise to anyone other than to say that when that person touches your own life and leaves a mark, then that person has certainly, I think, created and left a wide and permanent legacy. Thank you, Arachi. Thank you for wherever our journeys take us in the future.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. It is a great pleasure to address this important occasion and express my sincere appreciation and thanks to Madras Development Society for organizing the celebration of achievements and contribution of Dr.Jebamalai Vinanchiarachi, as we call him, our dearly friend Arachi in Vienna, in UNIDO, who has so greatly contributed to development, sustainable development, industrial development. His achievements coincide with the major objectives of the Madras Development Society, such as sustainable development in every field of life and in global issues, addressing environmental concerns, health concerns, as well. This all is in line with the major areas of UNIDO's work in addressing the needs of the member states, the needs of the developing countries to improve the quality of life. This at the same time highlights Arachi's, as we call him, major contribution and life work devoted to promote industrialization, industrial development in developing countries. Dr. Vinanchiarachi has been a distinguished expert and professional in the UN system, a long time working with UNIDO, a successful advisor of the Director General and a senior economist within UNIDO since 2009 and before. As a matter of fact, he worked from 1987 to 2009 with UNIDO, and I remember those days where I was working on my PhD thesis. Jebamalai was working late. He was writing precisely some books. He was in the research department. And as such, he is one of the rarest economists who has this splendid ability to break down complex industrial development issues in practical manner. And he is very much able to engineer its solutions with long-term vision. Whatever Jebamalai has been doing, he brought practical examples to the discussion. A typical quality of Java, the speed and precision in which Java act will rival the speed of light and nano-precision. He has been a great contributor to the development of UNIDO, the agency devoted to improve industrial development, growth through job creation to better quality of life. Jebamalai has made a remarkable contribution to the industrial development, in particular in North Africa. Increased South-South cooperation, while also representing in UNIDO in Sudan, Djibouti and Yemen in the early 2000s. It is therefore a very great honor for me to join this celebration together, because he has been a very precious friend, long-serving and dedicated work and success has been the characteristic of Jebamalai, and the achievements are nothing less of the passion, dedication and perseverance. A brilliant professional, outstanding personality and leader, it is indeed a great privilege to have shared all these years exchanging, having extraordinary times together, or enjoying just the moment of this nice coffee where we discuss the issues of the day. Thank you again to Madras Development Society. Thank you, Jebamalai, for your friendship, for your support, and wish you long life. May you go 25 more years with this spirit of collaboration, of contributing to the betterment of humankind. Thank you so much.
So good evening to all. I was privileged to be with Dr. Jebamalai on his birthday the whole day. We had lunch together, we had dinner together, and that way it was a great privilege for me. I knew Dr. Jebamalai from 1977 in Loyola College, when both of us were working in Loyola College hostel. At that time, all of us, both the principal and myself, could sense the duty consciousness. Whatever he takes up, he does it in a perfect manner, without any favor. And that is a great thing. And I could see that throughout. Though I knew him from 1977 till 2022, I keep in touch. I invite him for many functions. And that way we are in touch with each other. I do not want to speak a lot. Only two things I want to say. First of all, he is very generous man. Generous to anybody. He will find it difficult to say no to anybody. Such a great man. And secondly, he is also a global man. What do I mean by global is, he is a globally, he has done a lot. Be it Sudan or many other countries. He has been there. He revamped the whole economic policies and changed the whole structure of economy in those countries. At the same time, he's also a local man. That is, when he comes to Kanyakumari, he has done a lot for the people. And he wants to change the life of the people in various ways. Be it Islamaris, or when they wanted to start a harbor there, he was fully supporting them and giving them fresh ideas. How to do that? So that we can both please the people as well as achieve the goal of the government. And that was a man who can do that. That's why I call him local. And I feel a person who has such a vast experience all over the world, both developing and underdeveloped countries, should be made use of in India. We are now, as our Chief Minister says, we want to move from developing countries to developed countries. Good idea. But he needs persons who can do that. Persons who have a lot of experience. Persons who have lived with that. People who have transformed the countries. Such people are needed. And unfortunately, the Prophet is not recognized in his own country, and that is what is happening to him. And second one is, his outlook is very, very positive. Even some tragedy may take place, but he always sees the positive aspect of that. And this is, I admire in him. Sometimes I will get angry, what is this happening? But he will always look at the positive side. And this is what I admire in him. And may God bless him and bless also Cyril, his wife, and that Diana, his daughter, and will continue to contribute not only to Kanyakumari district, but the whole world. Thank you, and happy birthday, Jamal.
Birthday to my dear friend, Dr. Jebamalai. What a delight to be an integral part of this interesting and exciting celebration. What a towering personality he is. A man of concerted vision in recognizing the global functional makeup and his solutions. One of his books I started reading in the flight, and I finished it in 2.5 hours time, and it was hitting me for nearly two months. The poverty of economic thinking. His prediction towards every country, every continent, with the changing dynamics, has been astounding. As an economist or a banker, I operate across the globe. His conceptual clarity is so picture perfect, and its futuristic vision, the futurology as we call it, has been exemplary. And I seldom found in economists, but his caliber is second to none. With the changing face of the world, we are in new transformation. The new world order post-pandemic is going to be conceptually different from what it was. More than ever, I think eminent experts like him, economists like him, who's got an absolute vision, should be most sought after for countries and continents and planet as a whole for his economic advice and global sustainable value creation. May God bless him, long life, peace and prosperity. His continuing commitments to the humanity should be the value advantage for one and all. Once again, my best wishes for my beloved friend, Dr. Jebamalai. Happy birthday, my dear Dr. Jebamalai. Thank you and good evening.
ஒருவருடைய வெற்றிக்கும் பின்னால் ஒரு துணைவியார் ஒரு பெண் இருப்பதாக சொல்வார்கள். ஆனால் என்னுடைய நண்பர், என்னுடைய ஆய்வு மாணவராக இருந்த டாக்டர் ஜெபமாலை என்னுடைய ஒவ்வொரு வெற்றிக்கும் பின்னால் திருமலை ஜெபமாலை இருந்திருக்கிறார் என்பதையும் இந்த நேரத்திலே தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அவருக்கு 75வது பிறந்த நாள் வாழ்த்துக்களை கூறும்பொழுது ஜெபமாலை துணைவியாருக்கும் சேர்த்துதான் அந்த வாழ்த்துக்கள் உண்மையிலே போய் சேருகிறது என்பதையும் நான் உணர்கிறேன். ஏனென்றால் ஜெபமாலை, being a Christian, always uphold the values of humanism. What is Christianity? It is nothing but a form of humanism, helping others, helping the needy section of the society, helping the needy family members also. Jebamalai helped his all brothers, sisters. I know that. Jebamalai is though directly working under the United Nations organization, he worked in an affiliate institution, UNIDO. But I think he has seen through his visits to various countries. After the pandemic, the economy is deteriorating. The worst sufferers are the marginalized majority section of the people in every country. We have to take care. That's why I again call upon the message that Jebamalai inherited. Jebamalai valued that unique kind of message that is helping humanity, helping deserving people, helping others. This is the message, I think, on his birthday. I congratulate once again Dr. Jebamalai. வாழ்க பல்லாண்டு, வாழ்க பல்லாண்டு. 100ஆண்டு விழாவில் நானும் கலந்து கொள்வேன் என்ற என்னுடைய விருப்பத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். வணக்கம், வாழ்த்துக்கள். வணக்கம்.
In that case,
no, sorry, let me go through that again. It is often said that friends are the relatives you make for yourself. It is also said that if life's path was not illuminated by flares of friendship, it will be a long and winding road. My family and I greatly cherish the friendship we have developed with Vinan and his family. After all, friendship is what life is all about. In Vinan, we found a treasure. Let me therefore, in concluding, again wish you, Vinan, a wonderful celebration. Happy birthday. Thank you all gentlemen and ladies for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rachi, for all your support, and I wish you a healthy life, and I look forward to reading some of your new books. I was enjoying the one you gifted to me when I was at your lovely villa in Kanyakumari. That was also one of the beautiful moments of my entire life. Thank you, you and your wife, You were so so kind and generous to me during that stay. So I look forward to more of your books. I really enjoy your reading your books because of the style and because of the reader friendly sort of presentation in your big books. So when you write about economics, even people from disciplines that is not economic related could easily understand your arguments and your ideas and thoughts you want to put through to the readers. I think you are a big human asset to all of us, and again and again I wish you a healthy life, and look forward to meet you in person in a point of time. So thank you very much, Dr. Arachi, and I'm handing over back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm requesting Reverend Father Kashmir Raj, former principal of the Layla College, will present his speech.
So in every way, he is a delightful friend who always I welcome meeting him, discussing with him, talking to him. It's always a pleasure. And the family itself, of course, Mrs. Jebamalai is also a very pleasant person and a very good cook, more than anything else. That is what wives are supposed to be. And so in every way, my friendship with Jebamalai has been long. I think it started in the beginning of the century. I went to New York in 2001, and he was one of the first I met. And then we met very often at his home, everywhere. So it's personally, it's such a delight to be able to say a few words about him. And these words come from my heart. I don't have a prepared speech on him because it is not possible or necessary. But let me wish him all the very best. And thank him for all that he has done to the society, to the community, not only to the Tamils, but also even people in Sudan remember him, I know. And therefore, he is a global personality at one end. At the other end, he is a man from Kanyakumari, simple person who has big thoughts. And so, in every way, this is an opportunity for all of us to felicitate him and wish him many more years of productive life. And be with us for long. And
Good morning, Jebamalai. Your daughter called me and said you're turning 75. Honestly, I didn't believe that. How that is possible? You look so young. And the secret of your energy is energy, enthusiasm, empathy. And I will add one more, H, for the hospitality. And you're a very pious and spiritual person, not madly religious. You're very hospitable. You put others first. You care for others genuinely. You have that kind of a natural process with you, which is not everybody has it. You don't make an attempt to be nice. You're just nice by yourself. Many have to be trained to be nice. You're not. You're just nice. That's because of your upbringing and your simple upbringing. You always fall back into that and say, this is your upbringing. And I know your daughter Diana and Cyril, your wife, Cyril. And me and Diana has a lot of fun about you. We a lot of anecdotes to talk about you. It's a lot of fun. You're an absent-minded professor. So you drove us to the wrong places, absent-mindedly, and oblivious of the surroundings. You will be talking things, even when we have to go through blood-sucking mosquito bites. That's all fun part of it. You get absorbed in your thought. That is you. That is Jebamalai. But more than that, you're a great friend, a brother to me, and I love you. And I respect your friendship. I honor your friendship. Recently, you visited me in Chennai 2-3 years ago. You honored me with the visit. Then we had a nice lunch at the Woodlands. I love to redo that again, visit you, and you always count on me, and I know that I can always count on you. Take care, Jai Hind, and may God bless you always.
Thank you.
This is Father Jyoti. Dr. Jebamalai, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Father. Yeah.
Wish you all the best. And I also wish your wife, who is sitting at the back, kindly, I pray that Lord be with you and continue to bless you continuously and carry on the good work that you are doing. All the best.
Yeah. I joined a bit late because I was busy with something else. Okay, and I have been able to hear about Dr. Jebamalai too much during this meeting. In fact, I didn't know much about him except for the fact that he spoke in the last WTech, the 8th World Tamil Economic Conference, and I have learned a lot of things about him during this brief meeting, and I never knew that he is such a great man. I would like to wish him all the very best and wish him a long, healthy, happy and productive life in the coming years. And hopefully, I will have an opportunity to meet him very soon. Thank you very much.
And I'm very honored to be even part of this wonderful event. I don't know Arachi as long as many of you do, but I have to say, he made me wear a shirt and tie, the one project we worked on, and I always wear a shirt and tie when I see Dr. Arachi, because I'm afraid of, he taught me how to be professional in many ways. The one thing I will say, and just as a summary, is that Arachi is a citizen of the world, and he's lived comfortably in Austria and India, and he converses in so many topics. But there are many occasions when he would telephone us, Ines and myself, at all hours of the night, telling us how to improve a report, some new ideas about a strategy, how to think of a new project. No time zone can stop Arachi. But please, Arachi, us mere mortals, we do need our sleep sometimes. So please, get yourself a new watch. I believe I caught Arachi in his golden age, and I really appreciated the experience and the time he shared with many projects and the stories he told us and his wealth of experience. I think this is just the start of the next part of your journey, Arachi. God bless and take care.
We just want to wish you a very happy birthday and wish you all the very best for the future. I mean, I've only known you for about 3 years, but it's so inspiring hearing all these stories about you. And obviously, Snehan's family have learned so much. You and Auntie Cyril and Diana have been such a big support to our family, and we're so privileged to know you. So thank you so much for everything, and we wish you all the very best.
In my eyes, Jebamalai sir, நீங்க ஒரு உலகம் சுற்றும் வாலிபன் on this platinum jubilee year. Wish you all success, many more wonderful years to come. A humorous person. Cyril madam, வணக்கம். உங்களுடைய அன்புக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி.
உங்களை பர்த்டேக்கு விஷ் பண்றதை விட இந்த பர்த்டேல we would like your blessings on this great day on your 75th birthday.
Joint Secretary of the Department of Economics at Loyola College. So all the alumni students from the Department of Economics, which was founded by Father Basnek, Dr. is a pillar of our department. Truly an honor. He's been an incredible mentor, very generous in his advice, in his thoughts, in sharing his wisdom, and everything that he has. I've also had the opportunity to work at the UN for His Excellency Kofi Annan and at the UNDP for Mark Malloch Brown. And I can certainly tell you, Professor Jebamalai's commitment to humanity, his commitment to development, his sincerity, which stands out, is just outstanding. And, again, from my family side, from the Mavlikar family, as well as Kotuapalli of Pala, we wish him an incredible another 25 years of winning as well. That's it. Thank you.
எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். I just want you to look at the background. You see, we are sitting, both of us are staying at a resort, beach resort in the periphery of Thiruvananthapuram, near the sea. From the balcony, we can jump into the sea. This is the environment. I was very, very keen to sit near the sea and talk to you people because I was born in a fisherman's slum. My father was a fisherman. Okay? And when I still remember the words of my father, of course, he started his career as a fisherman, became very rich, one of the richest in Kanyakumari. At one point, he lost everything because of his magnanimity and generosity. And he gave only one advice to the children. He said, money will come and go. One of you will definitely re-earn all that I lost. Earn men and then money. In Tamil, he used to say, மனிதர்களை சம்பாதிங்கடா, மனிதர்களை சம்பாதிங்க. பணத்தால் அடைய முடியாத விஷயங்களை எல்லாம் உங்கள் நண்பர்கள் உங்களுக்கு அடைந்து தருவார்கள். This happened in my life. He said, earn men and then money. Your friends will achieve what money cannot achieve. In fact, on the day Mr. Kante Unkala recruited me as the principal advisor to him, many went and told him they could not tell anything bad about me. They said, Arachi is a humble person. But it's a high-profile job. Arachi is a simple man. It's a high-profile job. Please reconsider. He got up from his chair, shouted at them, and he said, I don't want to listen to anybody on this planet about Arachi. No one has to convince me. No one has to tell me what he's up to. He asked them to leave the office and called the personnel, immediately asked the director of personnel to issue the appointment order. I was in Khartoum on that day. He called me and said, this is what your friendly enemies came and told me. I said this, and then you will get the appointment before you leave the office and join me within a week. Can I put a $1 million price tag on this? What my father said happened through many friends. What I got from Dr. Naganathan, I cannot explain it in words. What I got from Mr. Sampath, and Mr. Sampath and Dr. Naganathan were primarily instrumental for University of Madras conferring honorary doctorate of literature on our Director General in the presence of Dr. Manmohan Singh as Prime Minister and Madam Sonia Gandhi. So when I reflect on all these things, all that I achieved through my friends, I always remember the words of my father, Yearnman. And one good thing, what happened to me is, across countries and continents, I had the unique opportunity of cultivating close affinity with so many friends. And I am in touch with them. Whenever they call me, their calls serve as musical interludes, intellectually and personally. So I want, in fact, words fail to express a word of thanks, particularly to Mr. Sampath, who took a lot of pain. He is unwell, actually. Even this morning, he went to the doctor. I said, why can't we cancel it? And he said, no, we should not cancel it. Then we postpone it. It's not canceled, it is postponed. He said, no, he wanted to do that. It is with a profound sense of gratitude, I express my sincere thanks to Mr. Sampath for organizing this. And my daughter was also, Diana was also heavily involved in this. And all the friends for their kind words. I am grateful to you. As Dr. Mukesh Kabila said, you should continue to contribute. I'm trying to do my best because when I retired from the UN, I went to a palmist and whose great-great-grandfather once told my father that one of your sons will go around the world. No one thought I would be the person because when the school I was a mediocre, I was not doing well. And one of my brothers was trying to act in the film. So they thought he would be the person going around the world. And eventually what happened was among the 14 children my mother gave birth, I happened to join the UN. I started traveling across countries and continents. Then everybody said, oh, what the palmist said long back is happening. And then we all believed in palmistry. So I went to his grandson and then I showed my hand just on the eve of my retirement. He looked at my hand and said that, oh, something frightening. 3 years after retirement, you will die. Then I told him, in that case, I will not retire. I immediately called Professor Raja Rasaya in Malaysia, my good friend. I told him, Raja, please find a job for me. He immediately recruited me as the senior research fellow. 3.5 years I was there. Then I started. I refused to retire. I refused to grow old. Believe me, this morning I was talking to somebody and many people grow old because they are old. You should never think that you are old. That's the main thing. In Cuba, someone lived until 120 years. And 1 week before his death, the Economist Intelligence Unit editor interviewed him. And he said, what is the secret behind your continued youthfulness? He said, a man imbued with a clean mindset will never grow old. And he asked him to define what is clean mindset. Clean mindset means one who does not speak ill of others and one who is not jealous of others. If these two qualities are not with you, then you will never grow old. So I was never ever jealous of anybody. That never went into my head. Even in my village, if the children of our enemies, who are very jealous of us, if they come up, when I hear about the way they climb the ladder of career development, I'm so happy because we could see the transformation in the family. I said, because of this guy, the village is getting transformed and the village is getting benefit. So all these things, that word jealousy never went into my head. And then I seldom speak ill of others. I always look at only the positive qualities of others and totally ignore the negative qualities. And my own behavior, my own style of functioning with them, relationship with them, will further strengthen their positive qualities. Thereby, the positive qualities will outweigh their negative qualities. And I think thereby I contribute to the personality formation. Now, I should not talk too much about me. So very often in Kanyakumari district, my students have formed a club called Club of Jeba, Students of Jeba. They meet every year. During this year and last year, they could not meet because of COVID. And December they meet. And most of them look very old, older than me. They always tell me, sir, what is the secret behind your continued youthfulness? Simple, a clean mindset. So I would kindly request all our friends to stay young and while growing old by inculcating a clean mindset. Once again, I am grateful to everybody, the speakers and all the participants, and particularly to Dr. M. Naganathan and Mr. Sampath for their painstaking efforts. And thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
First of all, Dr. Sampath, thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. We are forever grateful to you for your thoughtfulness to do this online. And for everyone who's attended today, I know it's different time zones. I think in America, it's very early. Here in Sydney, it's just past midnight. But it's wonderful to see more than 80 people having just joined online. And I know very well from messages that I've received from many other friends who've been sending messages throughout the week that they will be watching the recording. So very grateful for that as well. To give a vote of thanks is always a very difficult task because you have very limited time and you have many, many special people to thank. Today was another such a day where numerous of my father's very close friends and colleagues spoke very heartwarmingly and sincerely about his qualities. If I, as a daughter, had to give a speech today, it would be heavily biased, and I'm glad I'm just giving the vote of thanks. Dr. Sampath and the Madras Tamil Development Society, it's very interesting, and I didn't realize it until this morning that today actually coincides with the Tamil festival of Pongal, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the festival of harvest, festival of everything new. And it's a celebration where friends come together and enjoy a great meal and wish for a fantastic year ahead. And that we're celebrating my father's 75th birthday during this Pongal weekend is really fantastic. It's a fantastic coincidence, but also, Dr. Sampath, that this is celebrated in collaboration with the Madras Development Society. It's always said that Madras is the city that welcomes all, that allows people who dare to dream big to succeed, and where people from all walks of life are very welcome. And Madras is the place where my father did his higher education. And I think he imbibed a lot from the place and from the people in it, especially Dr. Naganathan, and many, many mentors from Loyola College and different institutes in Madras. Your youth and what kind of mentors you have really shape your vision for your own life and your behavior and interaction with others. I would like to say a lot is known about my father. A lot of you spoke very, very sincerely about all his positive traits and his negative traits as well. But one thing I would like to share is my father only gets anxiety for two reasons. One is when he can't find his phone. And two, when he finds his phone, but there's no Wi-Fi available. And this is because he needs to be in contact with people, with his friends, with new people, even Emirates hotline, 24/7. When WhatsApp first became popular in 2009, I was very, very hesitant to introduce him to the app and let him know that there's a service that allows you to call your friends for free, because I knew this would mean that he would only run around with his phone and have time for little else. My father is Tamil when he's in Tamil Nadu, he's a Malayali when he's in Kerala, he's a Sudani when he's in Sudan, and he's even an Austrian when he goes grocery shopping with his broken German in Austria. Many have asked me, you're a very small family. I would like to differ. Through his organic ability to just create friendships and social networks around the world with people from different walks of life, he has managed to create a social network that goes into the hundreds, if not thousands. This at a point where social network as a term wasn't even coined yet. He knew what the value of social networks were, and he did it in his own way and very sincerely. Lastly, I want to say Madras is the place. Madras and the people in it are the place that shaped my father in his thoughts and motivating him to dream big. His colleagues at the UN have been instrumental really for his professional satisfaction. He has a lot of ideas and he's very ahead of his time in many ways. A friend recently called him an absent-minded professor with crystal clear vision for the future. So I certainly agree with that. But the UN is an institute of very high missions, world peace, sustainable development, and conflict resolution. And it's a very bureaucratic and political organization. And to survive in that organization and to prosper is only possible if you have colleagues who have the same mindset, who are willing to work with you, who trust you, and sincerely believe in your friendship, both on a professional and personal level. And I think that's another big success factor that has taken him really to many, many places in the world and won him many awards. Lastly, the friendships that run outside the UN and outside the Loyola College are really very vast. It's a very vast net of people, and this is why I really refrain from naming individuals because I would be doing a great disservice to anyone who I have omitted. What I want to really say is we are very, very grateful for all your friendship. Whatever has benefited my father has directly or indirectly also benefited my life. I have taken a lot of cues from how he interacts with his network of people. And we always call this our global family. So to see many people from our global family present here at this online event, but also many, many friends who will be, messaging separately. It's really an honor and a privilege to call you all family and sincere well wishes. To my father, it's an honor to be your daughter. I don't say this very often, but it certainly is. And you've climbed 75% of a big, big mountain, and there's 25% more to go and reach the summit. To everyone else, I thank you very much for your time. I think my Tamil isn't as good as my father's German, or at least I hope it's a little bit better than my father's German. But in Tamil also, Onga Neram and Onga Anbu and Mariyadekku Romba Romba Nandri. And I wish you all a very nice evening. And thanks again for wishing my dad.